Let's look into more orchestration tools. One of them is System MD. The second tool that we have in our pipeline is System MD. So to manage a simple single host Docker, so we can use System MD. Managing the containers on your local machine can be a painful experience. The features provided by Docker for managing long running containers are relatively primitive, and starting up containers with links and shared volumes can be a frustratingly manual process. In our previous examples and previous section, we looked at using a Docker Compose to make managing links easier. So we will deal with the other pain points now, and we will see how the management of long running containers on a single machine can be made more robust. So managing your host's container with the system, it's basically that's what is going to do. Simple single host Docker, but the managing, so the management takes place. The here we are managing our hosts containers with the system, that system MD. So in this technique, we will in this technique, I'm gonna take you through setting up a simple Docker service with the systemd. If you are already familiar with systemd, this section will be relatively easy to follow, but I assume no prior knowledge of this tool. So let's look into the systemd use cases. So systemd is a system management daemon that replaced sysv init scripts in Fedora some time ago. It manages services on our system, everything from mount points to processes to one-shot scripts as individual units. It's growing in popularity as it spreads to other distributions and operating systems. Though some systems, such as Gento being an example at the time of writing, at the time of making my PPT, so have problems installing and enabling it. So it's worth looking around for experiences with other people, experiences of other people who has used systemd. So have had with systemd on a startup similar to ours. So in this technique, we will demonstrate how the startup of our containers can be managed by systemd by running the app which was used in the beginning of this Docker tutorials. Let's begin this with installing systemd. Then we will look into that. So problem statement for here is we want to manage the running of Docker container services on our host. So obvious solution that we want to go with in this case is using system MD or system MD. So, so first we'll begin with the installation of system MD. So the procedure is pretty simple. Uh, we can, if you don't have the system MD on your host system, so you can check by running systemctl status systemd and seeing whether you get a coherent response or not. If you do not have a systemd, you can install it directly on your host OS using your standard package manager. If you are not comfortable interfering with your host system in this way, the recommended way to play with it is used to Vagrant or provisioning provision a system ready VM. So as shown in, so either way you can do that just to cross check whether you have a system MD or not. So then once it is cross checked, now it is time to set up a simple Docker application under system MD. So you have to make sure you have system MD. So then setting up a simple Docker application under system MD. So now that we have a machine, we have a machine with the system MD and Docker on it. Docker has been installed and system MD is also been attached. Now we are going to use it to run the app application. So system MD works by reading configuration files in the simple INI file format. INI file format. So INI files are simple text files with a basic structure composed of sections, properties, and values. First, we will create a service file as root, that is in etc system md system /app.service, and as shown on your screen. So first we will do that, and then we will run the Docker container with the name on port 8000 on this host. That's what we are going to do. Here you can see that example on the screen. Then once if you run it, then we will exec start, and you can give user bin docker run and name of the container and attach the name of the container. So either way. So here it begins with exec start defines the command to be run when the service is started, and then exec stop defines the command to be run when the service is stopped, and we have install. The installation section contains information for the system MD when enabling the unit, and finally inform the system MD that you want this unit to be started when it enters the multi-user target stage. So that's how it's pretty simple. If you want to do it for a smaller applications using a single host machine, then it's possible. So we can use system MD. I hope you got the gist of how system MD can collaboratively work with Docker. So now we will move on to Helios.